All right, let's add a little piece of rectangular duct so we can connect the supply lines. So I'm going to go to System, Ductwork, and we'll make our ductwork 36 inches wide, 12 inches deep. We know our HVAC system is somewhere in here, so I'm just going to draw a piece of rectangular, and I'm not really going to connect it to anything, and we'll leave it at that. And then I'm going to build a section so we can take a look through it and see what we've got. So I'll go to View and Section, and we'll take a little section cut right here, except any other direction. Oops. Oh, let me delete that. I always left-handed, I always draw the wrong way. All right, and we'll go to that section. And there we can see our section of ductwork. And we'll leave it at low resolution because we're not seeing the ductwork very large. But what we can see is the location of our air handler in this section. So I'm going to go ahead and open up this box a little bit. So there's our air handler. We can see that our supply, maybe we'll need to add a little more detail here. We can see we can't actually completely visualize, but our supply is right in this bay here. Maybe we'll move our section over. Let's go ahead and do that. Let's go to level 2 again, and we'll just pull this over a little bit and go back to section 2. And we still can't get a complete visualization of what's going on there. Let me render it. Just happens to be a poor visualization of it. So here's our box. This is where it needs to be. So I'm just going to slide it over a little bit. Go to level 2. And it just happens to be not interfering with any of these diffusers, which is great, which is also lucky. But we could remove those diffusers if they were interfering. So now this is a way for it to get up to the air handler itself. And now let's go ahead and take a look at what we've constructed, evaluate it, and then think about how we might come out and try to do a layout for this. So let's go to our 3D View 2. It's really kind of puny. It's not telling us very much. So I'm going to highlight it and go to level 2 so we can adjust the camera. We want to pull the camera back until we're catching that ductwork, and then we'll go back and adjust that view a little bit. So then we'll go back to the 3D View 2 now that we've adjusted it, and adjust its cropping. And it kind of gives us a good basic idea of what we have. I've got this set for a rendering, so I'm going to just turn this off and adjust this rendering a little bit because that looks poor. Let's add some light to this whole thing. And I think it's set for a time of day when we were doing our rendering, so let's just pick now. For me, it's early in the day. So now we have a little brighter rendering. We'd probably want to make a little bit of adjustments to this view. Swing it around a little bit like that so we don't have that pole in the way. And let's see what we're looking at. We're at eye elevation. Because we're referencing off of the second floor, it's a little hard to figure out what our level is here. I think we're too high. So I'm going to go down a couple of, let's go down to 15 feet and apply that. And that's going to give us a little bit of there's a little better perspective. Looks like we're cropping off the back wall, and we know why that is. So if I highlight this and we go back to level 2 to see the camera, you can see how we've got this a bit screwed up as far as the depth of the field. So now if we go back to that view, we should have the back of the room in place. So let's just critique what we've done here. A lot of this up top ductwork looks pretty good. These diffusers seem to be down very low, and I've noticed that if we try to change their elevation, we get a bit of a connection problem here with Revit doing that automatically. So, but I will try to make an adjustment to it. So if we were to come in here and try and find our diffuser level, there we are, ceiling. Let's try to move this up a foot. Oh, that just took the whole assembly up. I'll show you that and then we'll come back in. So all it did was push that everything up into the ceiling because it's all on the same reference. So we weren't able to actually adjust the individual diffusers. So I'm going to just undo that. So let's see if I can just change this elevation. Let's just try to move it up a foot of a single diffuser. And you'll notice that, oops, let's do it again. Elevation from the ceiling. We're going to go -1. We want to move up. Let's see if we can apply that. Nope, we wanted to go the other way. So let's go 1 foot. And it seems to hate that. The duct pipe is into the opposite direction, causing the connections to be invalid. So what we want to do is see if we can maybe just get 6 inches up. I accepted the 6 inches. So I don't know if there's an easy way to make that adjustment. I thought if I had it connected to the ceiling grid, but you can see the improvement we can make just with the shortening of 6 inches here in the visualization of these diffusers. And this is the kind of thing that obviously architects care about all the time. So I don't know if we can select all instances and then give it a global value of 6 inches. It looks like it worked. Let's see if we can give it a global value. Oh, that's email coming in. Let's see if we can give it 8 inches. Let's see how far we can push it. There we go. So now we have a nice tight turn on our diffuser. They don't look like they're drooping way down. We might be able to even go higher. So I think that's a good amount of work that we can make some nice communication documents and be prepared for discussions with the HVAC people. I think we would have some complaints that right now it's still too low. We're wasting a lot of space up here, whether we need different steel arrangements or whatever in order to improve the HVAC appearance. So the next clip will be about bringing it all together in a presentation.